Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Red-Haired Shanks is one of the 4 strongest pirates in the world One Piece. He was the one who inspired Luffy on his path to becoming a pirate. So, today, let's learn about the life of this 4th prince. About 38 years ago, Grand Pirate Gall de Roger has picked up Shanks in a treasure ocean stolen from the God Valley event. The red-haired guy was only 1 year old at that time. So, Roger decided to take Shanks on board to raise him. Time has passed. Now, Shanks is a pirate apprentice on the ship with another child, Buggy. Both are now 14 years old, and they're pretty close. Not long after, Roger pirates must confront a dangerous enemy, the Whitebeard pirates. This was the first time Shanks met Teach, who would later become his rival. He is also a pirate apprentice on Whitebeard's ship. 2 pirate crews rush into battle. Shanks is young but fights very tenaciously. After 3 days and nights, the 2 pirates decided to make peace and have a party and exchange items. Roger then recruited a member of the rival ship onto his ship. It was Odin, who had the ability to read ancient characters. The crew begins their journey to find the poneglyphs. At the age of 14, Shanks went on adventures to places like Skypea Island and Fishman Island. During that time, Shanks also accidentally caused Buggy to eat the Barabaranomi devil fruit. After finding a copy of the guide stone, the Roger pirates decide to set off for the final island. At that time, Buggy suddenly had a high fever, so he couldn't go with everyone. Shanks also decided to stay to take care of his best friend and said that one day he would form his own pirate crew and then return here. Finding the treasure One Piece, Roger was called the Pirate King. After his captain returned, Shanks asked him something. Receiving the answer from the captain, Shanks started crying like rain. The Pirate King declares that the Roger pirates will disband, then decides to leave the ship. Shanks and his crew cried a lot as they parted, one by one. Until a year later, news of the Pirate King's capture by the Navy spread far and wide. His execution will take place in the town of Logtown. At this time, Shanks and Buggy also came to see their captain's face for the last time. Shanks then wanted Buggy to come with him to form his own pirate crew, but was refused. Within about 2 years, the red-haired pirate crew Shanks was born. Green's first crew member was Ben Beckman. Ben Lucky Roo. Not long after, Shanks continued to Syrup Village to recruit a famous sniper named Yassip into his crew. During an unspecified period of time, Shanks fought Teach of the Whitebeard pirates and was left with 3 scars on his left eye. The duel between him and Dracula Mihawk also resounded throughout the world. One day about 10 years ago, the Red Hair Pirates, led by Shanks, attacked a world government ship that was transporting Gomu Gomu devil fruits. Despite the fact that on board were saffron spies. After successfully stealing this special devil fruit, Shanks and his teammates headed to the East Sea to find a new base. During this time, Shanks' bounty had reached 1,040 billion belly. Anchoring his ship in Fuchsia village of Goa Kingdom for a year, Shanks met an interesting boy named Monkey D. Luffy, a boy who always wanted to join the red-haired pirate crew, but was always rejected by the captain. One day, while drinking at Makino's tavern, Shanks was provoked and harassed by a group of bandits. Shanks ignored his insults and continued to laugh happily. Luffy was quite angry at Shanks's behavior because he thought he was too weak. At this time, the boy also accidentally ate the rubber devil fruit that the red-haired bandit left on the table. Shanks then went out to sea again for a while. Not long after returning to Fuchsia village, Shanks saw the bandits from before torturing the young Luffy. Seeing his acquaintances hurt, Shanks became angry and then completely destroyed these bandits. The lucky leader escaped to the sea, taking the rubber boy as hostage. However, halfway through he was attacked by a sea monster. Luffy gradually sank into the water due to eating a devil fruit. Shikoku rushed forward to swallow the boy. At this time, Shanks arrived in time and used Heiyoshoku Haki to chase it away. However, Shanks also lost his left arm. After this, Shanks decided to move his base to the north. Before leaving, Shanks gave his precious straw hat to Luffy, inspiring the boy to become a great pirate. Heading to Sabaudi Archipelago, Shanks meets his old crewmate, the Dark King Rayleigh. Shanks told him what he had experienced in the East Sea. Around 6 years later, Shanks is now 33 years old and is recognized as one of the 4 emperors of the New World. During this time, Shanks was staying on a snow-covered island. He met Ace, a new recruit of the Spade Pirates. At this time, the red-haired captain still did not know that Firefist was the son of the pirate King Roger. Ace went to see Shanks to thank him for saving Luffy's life from the evil Sea King. Shanks was quite happy and held a party to entertain Ace. The two of them had a very good conversation. Around 4 years later, when Luffy started to set sail and made a splash with his first bounty of 30 million berries, Hawkeye's went to see Shanks to tell him the news. Shanks was excited that the boy he had placed his trust in was finally starting his own journey. Knowing that Blackbeard had begun to act on Ace's pursuit of him, Shanks immediately sent a letter of request to Whitebeard, but he refused and asked him to meet him in person. Shanks had no choice but to set out to find this Yonko, so Shanks boarded the enemy ship alone and then used his Heishoku Haki to demonstrate his power. Shanks asked Whitebeard to stop Ace because he knew how dangerous Blackbeard was. The old man refused to forgive the traitor, so an unwanted war broke out. Shanks clashed with Whitebeard. Their power was so great that the sky split in two. Negotiations failed. The red-haired emperors had to leave. As Shanks predicted, Ace was defeated by Blackbeard and was handed over to the Marines. The public execution by Firefist has been set. The day before the execution, knowing that the Yonko Kaido wanted to go to the Marine headquarters to join the battle, the red-haired pirate crew led by Shanks went to hold him back. The next day, the outcome of the battle at the naval headquarters was decided. The Whitebeard pirates were completely defeated. Ace and Whitebeard both died. However, after gaining the shockwave ability, Blackbeard continued to cause chaos. Admiral Akainu continued to pursue Luffy despite many people's attempts to stop him. The climax was when Kobe stood up to stop this admiral. In order to save the Marines, who still had a chance to live, Akainu did not accept this action and decided to deal with the guy. At the same time, Shanks appeared and used the Griffin Sword to block the admiral's magma punch. The red-haired Yonko picked up the straw hat and gave it to Buggy to give to the unconscious Luffy. Then he declared that he was here because of this meaningless war. Shanks challenged Blackbeard, but he refused and left with his companion shortly afterward. Master Sengoku also agreed to end the war and allowed Shanks to take Ace and Whitebeard's bodies to bury the two pirates he respected. Shanks then left and also kept thinking about Luffy's feelings. Time passed quickly. Within 2 years, Shanks still maintained his position as the Yonko. Many rookie pirates came to challenge the red-haired pirates, including Eustace Kid. However, before he could see Shanks, he was defeated by the crew's leaders and lost an arm. Around this time, the bounty on the red-haired Yonko was up to 4 billion belly. After resounding victories, such as defeating the 7 warlords of the sea, Don Quixote Doflamingo, or causing chaos on the island of the 4 emperors Big Mom, Luffy was wanted for 1.5 billion and was named the 5th emperor. Knowing this news, Shanks was extremely happy. He thought that the day he would meet the boy again would not be far away. The Reverie Conference took place, and somehow Shanks was able to meet the 5 elders at the Marijoa Sanctuary. Especially the 4 emperors are quite respected by these people. Shanks wants to discuss with the 5 elders about a certain pirate. The event where the 2 Yonko Kaido and Big Mom were defeated and the 7 Wahai were erased. Blackbeard takes action again. Shanks has always kept a close eye on his opponent, so when he learned that Blackbeard had left his lair, he also set sail. Predicting that the enemy would come to Wano to seize the treasures, Shanks and the leaders were present there. However, knowing that his target did not appear, Shanks decided to leave while standing outside Wano Sea. Looking at Luffy's new wanted poster, Shanks is quite happy. However, he says that he still doesn't want to see the boy again at this time. The Yonko also told his vice captain that it was time to join the One Piece treasure hunt. Feel like Admiral Ryokugyu is doing something crazy to the young buds. Shanks unleashes a massive amount of Heishoku Haki, paralyzing the guy. Cow 6 inches Ryokugyu also left immediately. The Red Hair Pirates ship gradually disappeared. Shanks wanted to return to his territory to punish Bartolomeo, Luffy's Jr., who dared to burn the Red Hair Pirates' protective flag. Returning to the territory of Elbaf, Blue met again with his 2 giant friends, Dory and Broggy. They had not been chatting for long when Captain Kidd's pirate crew came to cause trouble. Shanks decides to go into battle, asks the enemy to leave the Poneglyph behind, and leaves. Kid, who agreed with this, the guy rushed forward to attack the captains of the red-haired pirate fleet. Seeing a dark vision thanks to high observation haki, Shanks rushed forward, covered his sword with Heiyoshoku haki, and attacked, taking down the kid pirates with just one strike. Other members handed over the copies, ignoring the pleas. Shanks leaves and lets the two giant warriors destroy the enemy ship, completely destroying the kid pirates. Shanks' journey does not stop here, but will continue. Now perhaps he will truly show his hidden power and become the last obstacle in Luffy's path to becoming the Pirate King. Let's wait for the latest developments of this red-haired for emperors. The video ends here. Thank you for your attention. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to support me. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.